Championship activity from the Palais de Congrès here in Paris, and you're watching it on Eurosport. And we're now in the individual pose section of the up to 90 kilogram category. Julian, what can we expect in this category?
Well, we're watching one of the greats of bodybuilding. This is Ahmet of Turkey. He's already won this category twice in the past. He's double world champion. Not in the last few years. In Australia last year, he certainly made the top 6. He was 4th, and he's still in great shape here. Man, well into his 40s. Look at that great back. Plenty of definition. He's a national figure in Turkey. Everybody knows him there. Great hero. Got a lot of charisma.
The one thing that strikes me about him is the tremendous balance in his physique. He looks balanced, and even the layman can see the tremendous definition, but balance of that definition throughout the body.
Yes, of course, Stuart, you're absolutely right. He has got that, and that's what's enabled him to win this championship twice before. And usually he hasn't gone on to become a professional, and that's probably because he's a great, well-known national figure in Turkey, and if you're going to be a professional, you've probably got to go to the States.
So the judges will already have been highly impressed by that.
They certainly will. And we now have Ronnie Shaw from America. Very nice man. He's here with his girlfriend, and they're having a great time. And he's desperate to win this. Very balanced physique from the American. And in fact, today he's looking a lot better than he did yesterday. Yesterday I felt his physique looked a little bit flat, but he may have eaten quite a lot of carbs in the meantime, which has made those muscles fill out a little bit, and he looks more impressive today. Whether or not he has the depth of muscle or the definition to challenge for the top 2 or 3 spots, I'm not sure. But he certainly has a presence and a very well-balanced physique. By that we mean his upper to lower body, very well-balanced, with a bit of depth. And he's very relaxed here. Posing before this large audience. And they like him.
I think certainly the judges would have liked that as well. It was an impressive performance of all-round demonstration of his strong points. And now, Frank Hildebrand of the Federal Republic of Germany. The first thing I can see there is a definite imbalance, those incredible quads.
Well, yes, if you have quads like that, it's almost impossible to get your upper body up to the same level as those quads. What he has done, he has massive arms, so he's got massive upper legs and massive upper arms. His arms are enormous, and his legs are enormous. Now, those are 2 very spectacular body parts, and having watched the judging very closely yesterday, I know the judges liked what they saw for this package. But this is a very, very close contest we saw yesterday, and we saw many different sorts of physiques in it. As we get taller, we find a great variety in the physique types that we see. And Frank Hildebrand, tall man, big arms, big legs, small waist, but has he got the lats, which will enable him? That is the taper from upper to lower body that will enable him, the taper from the shoulders down into the waist, which will enable him to win. Now, this gentleman from Trinidad has got a lot of charisma, and his body is pretty well perfect. He's got depth, he's got definition, he's got nice balance. The only thing is this: he looks like a very small light heavyweight.
I think the point you're making there, Julian, is he may come unstuck. He's not as big as one would like, is he, in this comparison?
Yes, he's giving away weight. He's giving away weight, and I suspect that he must be just over the 80-kilo middleweight limit. And I'm guessing, but he's probably only 2 or 3 kilos over. Whereas what happens with the other competitors, and let's just pause to look at this great back, very well-balanced physique, but he tends to be slightly more of a pocket 90-kilo light heavyweight class. Look at the definition of that tricep. And a lot of confidence. Here's another competitor who looks better today than he did at the judging. Look at him move. Bit of breakdancing. And look at that separation. Mind-boggling.
A very impressive display there in his 1 minute allocation. And
we're moving on now to our Polish competitor. And Poland have become very prominent in the last few years. The Iron Curtain countries love bodybuilding. They draw huge crowds in Poland. And they staged the European Championships a few years ago. Massive crowds. And this man is very heavily muscled. It's a Eastern European style of physique where there's plenty of mass. See the lat spread. And it's got a lot of thickness to that physique. It's not as pleasing a physique as some of the others. But in Czechoslovakia, massive calves as we see. In Czechoslovakia and Poland and the USSR, they seem to develop these very heavy set physiques. I suspect he doesn't have the definition to get amongst the first three.
but what about this fella? He's got some muscle power on him.
Oh, he certainly has. That's Patrick Nichols from Barbados, another very powerful bodybuilding country. They were second in the nations competition last year. And Patrick was runner-up in this class, and he was rather disappointed last year. I happen to know Patrick's been struggling with a knee injury, which hasn't allowed him to train his legs the way he would have done. But nevertheless, what an impressive aesthetic physique.
There'll be viewers watching who will be relating this kind of physique to the amount of weight that these people can lift. I mean, does a physique necessarily mean that they can lift huge weights?
Well, you can develop a fairly substantial physique without being a weightlifting champion, but take it from me that somebody like Patrick Nichols will be lifting weights which will be very, very close to international powerlifting standards in his training. Patrick is a very powerful man, runner-up in Australia, where many thought that he might have just edged it. And as we see, beautifully balanced physique, elegant physique, and the muscle size of the man. Huge arms. Very confident gentleman. He never believes that he's going to finish anywhere other than in first place. And I would certainly never like to make a suggestion to him in private that he's not going to win.
Well, so now to the compulsory poses, and the requirements being voiced very close to that rostrum. And you can get now the first real look at comparisons.
Look at those calves, and that is perhaps where Patrick may have struggled a little because of his knee and leg injury. He couldn't really display his calves the way he would have liked to have done. And we can see a nice comparison, some massive calves and some slighter. Compared to your average teenager on the beach, these calves are all massive.
Thank you. Side 3 tests, please.
And now they're showing their triceps, back of the arm, and they also show the leg bicep. That's the back of the leg as they stand sideways. And just look at some of these triceps. One of Patrick Nichols' strong points, big, huge triceps. And look at that Lunlu separation, those striations in those triceps. And now
Thank
abdominals
you.
and
Front
thigh.
row judges, please. Abdominal and thigh.
See abdominals. We caught a glimpse of the German Frank Hildebrand, who's also been in the top 6 before, those massive thighs. The question here is whether the judges will like the massive thighs, the massive arms, the impressive body parts of Frank Hildebrand, or whether they're going to go for a more balanced physique such as Patrick Nichols or Ahmet Lunlu. The judging has been done, and we're now going to give the competitors a chance to have a go. They can now move, they can do what they like, and we may see them move around to get next to a competitor who they think is separating them from a higher placing. We see it now from the crowd's point of view. Huge auditorium, Palais de Congrès. holds between 3,500 to 4,000 people. There's Patrick Nichols alongside Ahmet, the American Ronnie Shaw. And right at the end, the huge thighs and the huge arms of Frank Hildebrand of West Germany. And he's showing them. Great abdominal separation as well.
A fair few suntans around out there, but I understand that the shading is put on to give more definition to the muscles, Julian.
Yes. They certainly do that because the lighting would wipe their physiques out. We'd see flat physiques if it wasn't for that tan. And we're going to get the result.
Well, there it is. Frank Hildebrand of the Federal Republic of Germany takes the World Championship, the gold medal. Ahmet of Turkey, he takes the silver. And Patrick Nichols of the United States, he takes the bronze. Schweier, Charles and Daskevich take the lower placings. There he is, Hildebrand. Well, a very happy victor and world champion here from the Federal Republic in this up to 90 kilogram category. And some may say somewhat of a surprise there, but he certainly displayed at the end of the day the balance that impressed the judges. Well, as the celebrations begin once again, we're going to take a short break and join us back after that break for the team competition.